Welcome to the Dingus Den, where we are talking about Wolverine, his very first miniseries, which written by Chris Claremont, artwork done by Frank Miller. This was, I can't wait to get into this, but let's dive right into this excellent miniseries and talk about what exactly was Wolverine's first ever miniseries like.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
All right. Well, I'm excited to talk about some Wolverine. We recently just did a magic video, so make sure you go check that out. If you like what you see here, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out Shenanigans Collective. I'll make sure to include a link to that down below, which is filled with a bunch of other cool podcasts and other channels that do cool stuff. So make sure you go check that out. But we're here specifically to talk about Wolverine, which is my personal favorite Marvel hero, somebody I've always loved since a very early age. I grew up with watching it's interesting, I grew up watching the Fox stuff, and it's interesting too. I'm excited to get into this as why we're talking about the Fox stuff is you probably thought the same as me of you're reading a lot of this and you're like, one of those movies in particular takes a bunch of elements from this, which is really interesting. And so we'll get into that.
It's one of the less talked about movies, too.
Yeah,
in the Fox verse, for sure.
Well, so what we're talking about is we're talking about the Wolverine,
the second Wolverine,
the second of the yeah. And what's interesting is I was thinking about this. I feel like most of those Fox movies are either great or they're terrible. This is one of those one of the very few that's maybe like in the middle of the
like it's average. Sure.
Yeah,
like you can rewatch it and not be upset that you rewatched it.
Yeah, like it's a fine movie.
Yeah,
there's how I put it. Yeah. And so
it's fine. Everything's
fine. It's fine. It's funny. Actually, after I read this yesterday, I put it on to go to sleep too.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about it, man. I should watch this. I should watch that at some point.
I do. It makes me want to rewatch it fully because there's definitely certain parts of it they can tell they're like, oh, they took that from the comic here.
Yes.
And so it's cool. But we'll delve into it. And I will say first and foremost, we're talking about a fine movie, comparing it to a fine movie. I don't want to give that as like the wrong influence on how this comic is.
Oh, the run is great.
Yeah, these issues, like it's written by Chris Claremont. It's great. So in this video, we're talking about the original 4 issues of Wolverine, where you first see this iconic cover, which is like, this is one of the most iconic Marvel covers. This goes for so much. It's Frank Miller when he was a really good artist.
Wow.
Some of his stuff could be better now, but
he's getting older, man. It's hard to draw when you're older.
He is quite old. But this is a powerhouse, though. As something I looked up yesterday that I was really curious was when Frank Miller started doing Daredevil, because he started drawing Daredevil a little bit before this came out, which is where he started getting his name from. Now, keep in mind, he didn't write Daredevil right away. He's an artist first and foremost before he got to writing things. And then he got Daredevil, and then later on he did The Dark Knight Returns. Yep. And so anyway, this is a big part of his journey, though, is at the time he was being regarded as one of the best ever artists that Marvel has. And there was a time too, I don't think it was until he started writing it, I could be wrong, when Daredevil was so big because of Frank Miller that it actually outsold X-Men. Daredevil was Marvel's best-selling title for a bit that overtook X-Men. And so, but anyway, point is though, is like this is such a powerhouse of Chris Claremont and Frank Miller, which is just really cool to see them two together, and I think it showed during some of it too. We're also going to be covering at the end of this X-Men issues 172 and 173, which very much serve as an important follow-up to the story, very much considered as a story. And the main reason I also did that too is because it was also collected this trade, which is nice too, and it just made for a really nice one full read additionally after.
I'm sure, yeah.
And so, but yeah, so Wolverine, his first ever series, he originally debuted in Incredible Hulk. I think it's like the shadow of him or silhouette of him is in like 180, but then his full debut is in 181.
Mhm.
And he hasn't been seen for a while. Then he comes back in Giant Size X-Men 1, and then he's just been part of the team. So even though he's been around since the X-Men and Giant Size X-Men 1, and then is it 94, 95 when the numbering starts, and then goes on from there. And now when we're talking about tying into X-Men issues 173 or 172 and 3 here, that's like 80 issues that Wolverine's just been part of a team, not of his own title. And it just shows you too of how this title is so successful. Look at how much Wolverine stuff we got now, showing that he can stand up as his own character.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy to think about too, because now we talk about, you look at all the other Wolverine stuff that comes out afterwards, and he's been his own title for a very long time now. I don't know when the next main one picked up, but that was a huge ongoing one that lasted for hundreds of issues. And so, yeah, point is though, it's a piece of history that we're about to talk about, as Wolverine is such a great character.
I mean, look at the run that it created, not just on paper, but then in the media, with how he was chosen to be one of the core characters in the original X-Men animated series, and then to be basically in the forefront of the movies. And Hugh Jackman, he's one of the few characters in that was able to easily and do well jumping over from Fox to Disney, obviously.
Yeah, I
we've
mean, there's
seen him in
just
the
so many.
movies and from paper to screen. Everyone wondered who was going to take the mantle of Hugh Jackman for Wolverine, and it's Wolverine. It's Hugh Jackman is taking the mantle
For now.
of Wolverine. We'll see how Scott Summers and James Marsden does as Cyclops in Marvel. But again, we're here to talk about Wolverine and the beginning of everything that is probably X-Men, the most beloved X-Men probably of all the X-Men. The most well-known, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely like the most popular.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, he's such a huge character. But yeah, let's get into this issue though.
And he starts it out saying that he knows it, basically.
Well, gotta thank Chris Claremont for making him such a great character that he is. He didn't create him, but then he took the character and did all this great stuff. And this was something I looked up right away too. Right after I read this first page right here. Stan Lee presentation. I'm Wolverine. I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do best isn't very nice. This was the first ever time it was muttered in comics. It was never said in any of the X-Men stuff that he was in, and I think he's like said some words here and there that's kind of like similar to it that implied this, but this iconic statement that any Wolverine fan knows, it first debuted in this issue, which is really cool. So fun little trivia right there. Because when it's when I saw this, I was like, holy cow, was it the first time? And it was, which is really cool. So we get into this. We see Wolverine is on the hunt. What exactly is he hunting? Well, that's a brilliant question.
Okay. I'm gonna say when he was hunting, I'm like, Sabretooth?
Yeah, Sabretooth doesn't come till a bit later. A bunch of this lore stuff that we know doesn't come till a bit later. Like here we don't even know really anything about Wolverine's like past. Like, when we talk about compare this to the Wolverine, a huge part of that story is that it connects with somebody they knew many years ago. Here, it doesn't connect with somebody that he knows many years ago. Here, because that lore wasn't established in the comics that he was somebody around that fought in those like World War II.
Yeah, we didn't learn about Weapon X and all that stuff.
Weapon X wasn't a thing until then either. The idea of him having bone claws wasn't a thing yet. And so this is really early stuff with the character that it just took of like what we knew of him being part of what's going on with X-Men, and then it's like, well, knowing what we just know of the bit that he is from being an experienced soldier. All they know is that he is previously with Alpha Flight, and that's really his only previous thing, is that he's part of the Canadian team there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Anyway, he's hunting a bear.
Yeah. Yeah, he's hunting a bear. Not, and at first you're like, why is he just hunting a bear? But then you find out
Yeah.
it's a poisoned bear.
Yeah. A bear of rage.
Bear rage. Bearage. Bearage.
Let's see. And then this was one of the times where I'm like, oh, this feels like the Wolverine.
Yeah.
He goes into the bar, gets into a bar fight. Not nearly as gruesome as the one in the Wolverine. See, that scene stuck with me for many years. Because I even a little bit now of like, I remember the scene in that movie when he stabs the knife through the guy's hand, just being absolutely disgusting. And so, but anyway, I see this and I'm like, oh, this feels like the Wolverine. And like you could obviously tell that they took inspiration from this.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see.
Yeah, because then after this part is when he meets her in the movie, technically.
Yeah, so Mariko, he's already in the comics, he already knew of Mariko.
Yes.
He's already been with her a little bit. They had a side adventure in Japan a bit. I don't remember what X-Men issues, but a little bit ago for the events of this, and she's like around and stuff. But anyway, long story short, he goes to Japan to figure out like, oh, she was actually with him in America for a bit, and then she randomly left. And so he's like, what happened to her? I want to know what's going on with her. Why is she not talking to me?
Yeah.
So let's go to Japan and figure out. He's determined to find out. He looks very determined right here. He's like, let's go figure out what exactly is going on.
Secret agent friend, Secret Service friend.
Yeah. He's like, and he's and he's warning Wolverine of like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this. Like, if he doesn't want to be disturbed, but he still.
Oh yeah. Well, before you go any further, he's the one who says, "Dude, she's married now." And he's like, "Wait, what?"
Right. That's true.
He's the one who tells her. He doesn't find out on his own. His friend tells him, and is like, "Dude, don't go do this." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go." And then you can tell that his friend didn't want to have to be the one to tell him.
Yeah. Well, previously in the X-Men issues is like you got the sense that they truly did love each other. So when he finds that out, he's like, oh, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so you from here though, he finds her bruised, which is like
which boils our blood,
Yeah, for
sure.
So from there we then see him run into who she is married to, who's an absolute sleaze bag, as you could say. And he then gets poisoned and has to deal with what's his name? Master Shigiri, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he ends up
Lord Shingen.
There we go. I was close.
You were close. Yeah.
Shingen's an expert, as it says here, is they have a one-on-one duel to see if Wolverine's capable of it. And here it's like he's a really trained fighter, and here this not establishes, but leans into the thing of how people say that Wolverine's an animal. That he fights he fights like an animal, not like a full-on trained traditional trained fighter.
Well, and that's what this guy is Shingen is trying to prove to his daughter, show to his daughter.
Exactly.
Like, this is what you love? An animal?
Yeah. Exactly. And you gotta love this artwork here. It's really cool. I like some of these first person perspectives of like Wolverine's claws or chest views.
Yeah. Throughout the whole miniseries, there's so many good just action frames.
Well, this is really cool.
Doesn't have a lot of text to it, and it's just action, and they just look so good.
Well, you didn't really see action like this before in the X-Men series of how it's paneled here. These set of panels is a great example to see here. And so it really stood out to me when there's going to be a spoiler for when we get to the next two X-Men issues, but there's a couple panels where they take like this like, framing of how the panels work. And it's like, oh, interesting. It's like something that, not saying Frank Miller necessarily created this, but like he made it be like a more, in the instance of X-Men being a more normal thing to use with the Wolverine action that we see specifically, which is cool to see. And so, but yeah, no, it's great bits of action here too, because I don't remember we'll get to the X-Men issues in a bit, but when we get to them, we can see that whoever took over for the X-Men issues definitely was like inspired by the stuff that Frank Miller did here, which is really cool to see. So, but yeah, no, this action, awesome. So, we get more into it. Wolverine gets beaten the shit out of, and then he's left alone. I love this bit too, where he wakes up on the street, and then there's this gang comes up on, and he's like, "Oh, you don't want any trouble." And then I love the sort of off frame of they're all
getting their asses beat, basically.
Yeah, some fun off screen action there, and then somebody else finds him there,
saves him.
Somebody
save him. Go check out his stream.
Yeah. All right, so Wolverine, issue 2 now. Yes. We now get another huge involvement where the Hand is involved in all this too.
I know. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting to think that like the Hand's like a huge part of some of the solo Wolverine stories, and so yeah, pretty interesting. Maybe I have a strong feeling that they'll probably be in the Wolverine game. But anyway, that's a side topic right there.
That was a lot of that had to do with the some Easter eggs in Spider-Man 2.
There was an Easter egg. Well, one Easter egg in Spider-Man 2 where you can peer in a window and you find something that's related to him. Yeah, they're similar or something. Anyway, here's a cool frame. Look at this.
Yeah,
he's ambushed by the Hand, and look at all of them ready to fight. And
he jumps out the window, and
yeah, that's pretty sick. That's a pretty awesome.
And this is cool. He's like, I treat him accordingly. The trouble is, they didn't come alone.
Yeah, you gotta love how he thinks there. And so fighting against so much of the Hand here, which is good to see. Awesome action here.
Yeah, this next page with that frame on the right with both the arrows hitting or the whatever there. It's I don't know what's hitting them. Is it just light?
Oh wait, what are you saying?
The blade, the way his claws are. Is it just supposed to be light hitting?
I think it's just light, like a glaring effect. Yeah, it is really cool. I do like it a lot. I mean, I don't remember because it's been so many years since I've read The Dark Knight Returns. I find that to be also an overrated story. Burn me in the comments right now. I dare you.
No, I agree. I agree.
So but point is, I'm saying it's been a long time since I've touched it, so I don't remember his art style specifically, especially since I've read a bunch of comics. Like, it's been so many years, but it'd be one I'd be interested in returning to. But point is, I'm saying though, is like this art here stands out to me as possibly being his best work though, which is excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he gets so dark.
Yeah, he does
comparatively after this. So it's just
like,
I mean, it makes sense. I guess you go through Daredevil, you're gonna get dark.
Yeah, look at this right here. I love the yellow eyes of Wolverine there.
It's interesting because this image right here, that image right there, it does remind me of something that you would see in like the Magic miniseries.
Maybe.
You know, kind of the way that the art style is. Go check out that video.
Yes.
Shameless plugs.
There you go. Galore. So, Wolverine and Yukio get some time alone.
Man, just the way the apartment is and the lights of the buildings all around it, or the hotel room, I guess it is what it is.
Cool.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Notice, really guys, a lot of this is like the mushy stuff, and we're just like kind of looking at the art instead.
Mushy. This shows a big part of the story here where they are, she's trying to convince him of like, oh well, you can be my love now, and Wolverine's like, maybe so, because he's not quite sure how to fully figure a little about the situation with Mariko going on right now.
And then we get the whole. This is where we're gonna get the.
Well, yeah, we see Yukio going off doing her own thing, being an assassin here.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, she leaves. That's right. She leaves. He goes out and he's like, "I need some time,"
Yeah.
and she leaves and goes and interrupts the the daughter, and or it's wait.
Yeah, I was trying
It's
to remember what this place is. This is some upper class person that is
it's Lord Shingen's office, is what it is. Tell Lord Shingen that his daughter and son-in-law
right.
are here.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then in comes
Yeah, what's that mean?
Yukio and barges by and says, "Nope, I'm going in," but she's like disguised, so they don't know who
Right.
she is.
Right.
And this is
confronts
where we
them
learn
briefly.
she's working for Shingen,
Right. There we
which
go.
is a big part of the story.
Right. So anyway, Wolverine then infiltrates the place.
Yep,
Some
of the meeting that's happening. Yep,
yeah,
because
and
they talked about what happens is Shingen's like, "I'm gonna set up this meeting,
yeah,
and you're gonna kill them and Wolverine."
Mhm. Yeah. So we get into that. I like this bit too, where it's talking about like a tale of honor or loyalty, is samurai's determination and all that here, which is
Yeah, it really
interesting bit
shows.
there.
Yeah,
And showing the idea of honor versus Wolverine, who's trying to just go in and figure out, his own personal deal here.
yeah.
And
Well, and what Wolverine doesn't know is that Mariko is going to be there with her husband because her husband is the one that got sent for the meeting, and
Wadi
Yukio
doesn't know. Yeah.
and Logan slash Wolverine doesn't know. Yukio knows,
Yeah.
and because he's like, "Don't let anything happen to my daughter. I'll kill you." Shingen said that to her,
Right.
to Yukio, and so and then it's really cool how they set it up. They're going to like a play
Sure. Oh yeah.
for it all,
Definitely.
which then becomes a trap.
Yeah, absolutely massive. This page in particular,
everyone's trying to kill everybody.
this page in particular really stands out to me, as it's we literally see somebody shove his sword, swing his sword right into his shoulder, and he's like, "It's the perfect cut, if not for my adamantium bones."
Yeah,
I've been sliced in half. It's like, oh my gosh, that's just like, full on like brutal action there that you see, which is cool.
well, yeah, and then so Yukio, it's funny. Yukio is supposed to kill the people that they're meeting with, that Mariko and her husband are meeting with. The
Yeah.
people on stage are supposed to kill. Oh, and she's supposed to kill Wolverine. And then the people on stage are supposed to kill Mariko and her husband. And then throughout all the craziness, Yukio kills the people they were meeting with with a car bomb. Kabumi.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
But
here.
then
There you go.
Yep, Kabumi. And then Wolverine, though, disappoints Mariko once again.
Yeah, really showing that animalistic nature.
Animalistic once again.
Yeah, and we see her terrified right there too.
Yeah.
Covering her mouth, thinking, "Oh my gosh!" And we can, and Yukio is like, perfectly. I played him into where he has to love me now.
Yeah, but even though she's supposed to kill him, which he doesn't know, and she doesn't want to now.
Yeah, very true. So anyway, Wolverine's no match for sumo wrestlers.
No, yeah.
And he just yeets him out the window.
Yeah. So yeah, he and Yukio are having a good old time.
And there's just his agent chilling back there too.
Yeah, his agent buddy. Yep.
Oh, which is funny. But yeah, so we see a ambush by the Hand about to happen.
Yeah, that's a great image.
That is really cool. And so
then Yukio shows her wild, like, what this is how she gets her kicks, by doing crazy shit, nearly getting hit by a bullet train.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And then Wolverine passes out and has that dream.
Yeah, and
they're drunk as all hell. And he passes out after the adrenaline wears off from getting nearly hit by a bullet train.
Yeah, I really like this. Imagining him as this lone samurai against all these other armor, army. Very much a dream What do you want to say? What era of Japan? Like Edo era Japan or something like that?
Yeah.
Where like, the it's recontextualized in that sort of old time frame of his situation that he's dreaming about. Which really cool too of what stood out to me. I don't remember what Wolverine issue it was that came out recently. I want to say it's like Wolverine issue 8 or something like that. Was the 400th issue of Wolverine like ever.
Awesome.
It came out last year and it was a big special anniversary issue. The reason I bring this up though is there's a backstory in it that was, I think, both written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. We've talked about him before, or I've talked about him on the channel before, as he's part of. He did Wonder Woman with Dead Earth, which I did a video on, as well as Transformers Volume 1, Transformers Volume 2, which is coming out soon. So make sure to check out all that stuff. Anyway, he's a great person. Anyway, he specifically, his story reminded me of, like, he took this sort of inspiration and made into a little like short story, and like the imagery here is very much kind of like what he went for with his little story, that short story he did in that, which is cool.
Nice.
And so,
Okay.
just interesting to see of like, I really liked what they did with his story in particular there. I'll have to show it to you after this.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so, but yeah, point is though, is like this is like a big influence. It's interesting to see how this page in particular was like an influence for something else later on.
Well,
which
yeah,
I
and
think
he's
is cool to see.
it's basically him visualizing how she feels, which
Yeah,
could also be a little foreshadowing, maybe.
maybe. Here we see Yukio make sure he doesn't die, but then leaves him
Yeah.
as she's now off doing her own thing. Yukio is such an interesting character. Like, you don't really know what's going on.
Well, it's because she tries to wake him up and he says Mariko's name. And so she's pissed off.
Yeah.
That's why she's very, very weird. You're right. And she's interesting because she's like super tough and like wild and crazy, but she just wants to be loved by Wolverine.
She also murders.
Oh, kills Agent Friend. That's right.
Kills the agent. Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff happening, and
Wolverine's pissed about it.
Yeah, so now he's trying to follow her, tracks her down, because he has this scent tracking that he can do.
Yeah.
Across. I love the like imagery here, the colors used of the movement of like the background here. It's cool.
Yeah, because they're in Tokyo and stuff, so it's very supposed to be vibrant. And
yeah, like I love that
yeah.
that first panel up there in particular. Like, look at that. That's really cool. You see Wolverine and red there,
and yellows, but then it transfers to much lighter colors and the blues and the pinks.
And I love the billboard there in the back too.
Well.
So yeah, awesome stuff for sure.
And then, the claws coming out. I love the shoot, snoop every time the claws come out. Snoop.
Pretty sick.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Love it. So anyway, more epic action with the hand, following the sort of more similar action sequence that we're layout as we're talking about. It's just epic. The kind of art that you see and you're like, oh, let me look at this for a good moment. And so anyway,
that image right there of him,
so
that's great.
Yeah, that's a really good detailed look at him there. And here he's like wants to prove that he's a man and not a beast, a man. So he wants to fully prove to Yukio that he's not the animal that she thinks he is,
or that even Shingen thinks he, because he's saying that when that infamous line in the end, something about a mistake. Damn it, whatever. He basically said Shingen's made a mistake by thinking he's just a beast when he is much more than that, because of his free will and the way he thinks and yada yada yada. We could get all philosophical about that if we really wanted to.
If we really wanted to. But do we want to? Nah. So anyway, last part of the miniseries.
Yep.
We see right here. He is looking, talking over people. Yeah, I know, right? That's we'll get into what exactly that's going on with. But anyway, he drops in on a deal, which he then completely ruins the deal. I love the money going everywhere after he just slashes it out.
It's interesting that the if you go back to the previous page, the coloring that they chose to have the lighting make his costume be purple and gray instead of the brown and yellow that it's supposed to be.
Definitely some interesting lighting there that they
Yeah.
chose. I think just trying to highlight that it's dark there and you can't really see.
Yeah.
You know, trying to intentionally show, hey, he's hiding like in the thicket there. You know, so. But yeah, definitely cool. And I like how it's like mostly shadow there. You just see his wide eye there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, he ruins the deal. We see that not only does he ruin that deal, he goes around running a bunch of deals.
Wait, I didn't know Batman was in this.
Batman.
Third and fourth. Look at the second, third, and fourth panels.
Well, you know,
I
once
know.
you see two Batmans kissing right there, you
Oh,
know,
of course, that's right.
you can never unsee it. Anyway, Shingen gets a warning from a threat from Wolverine, and he's like, all right, fine, I will stay here and I'll prove myself.
And he's like, I've killed everybody and stolen all their weapons.
Yeah. Wolverine takes all the weapons here. This is where you get his crossbow. He's like, all right, I'm going all ballistic on
Wolverine hood.
Yeah, right.
Fucking great.
Here we get a bit with Mariko where she's very unsure about what to do with herself. An important like one-page thing here, just detailing how she feels about. She's really torn about what to do. And then we're also saying, well, Yukio's doing her own shit here too.
Right.
House here too. So it's looking to create an interesting ending to this miniseries here.
But it's all set up as a trap.
It's all set up. So anyway, go on. Everyone ends up reaching in there and a big final confrontation. And we see Wolverine's just leaving all these dead bodies behind.
Yeah, I love the part on the radio. I can imagine that, like, hello, come in. Answer me. They're all dead.
Answer me.
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
There's those panels again that we talked about.
This part's brutal here too.
Oh yeah.
The thunk 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 on the husband who's threatening his wife to shoot her.
Yeah,
it's insane.
What a douchebag.
Yeah, and then the thunk thunk thunk, and he's dead.
Yep.
That was
it's
great.
Yukio.
Yeah, Wolverine's
saving
like,
the day.
And Wolverine thinking that he lost her after seeing that kiss with Yukio, but then he ends up getting his duel again, his rematch with Shingen, which this time he's using his claws instead of a sword on sword fight. It's really epic here as we see them getting each other here.
Yeah,
and you know, I love the details here of the bloods on their weapons there on those.
The next page is I love the next page.
Yeah, this
page right here is one of the best pages because that last panel where it's the white, it's so
really cool.
Like, I don't know, it's like anime before anime.
Anime was like around.
Yeah, I guess anime was around, but that style anime like that,
probably.
Yeah, okay. And mangas and stuff, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, you have to keep in mind of like they so much of what are big things are based off of or taking inspiration from is stuff in Asian culture in general, and so
true.
Yeah,
it's very, very I feel like I'm watching a samurai movie looking at this page.
It's pretty sick, yeah. And you know, you get more of that great action there. It is epic as you go through, and here is how he ends him, which is just brutal, where he stabs him through, or Shingen stabs Wolverine, and then he's able to hold the blade, and then put his hand right up to him, and then snick it. Yeah. It's brutal. This is really brutal for a comic that came out in 82. I didn't preface that before, but it really is. And so, and part of the reasons why it's huge too is you didn't see really dark comics much. Because like Watchmen was huge when it came out, because that was known as being like the big dark thing from DC that they did along with Dark Knight Returns. And so there's just a bunch of things that they did. I don't remember when Watchmen came out, but that was also in the 80s after this, I believe.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Had some dark stuff and violent stuff that we weren't expecting at all when we read it.
Yeah.
Go check out those videos.
Anyway, Mariko comes in, finds her father dead by the hands of Wolverine. And we get to see that,
we find out that she said she would have killed him if
And then
Wolverine hadn't,
Din had to off herself because of the family.
because of the
you know,
honor thing.
Yeah.
But because Wolverine did it for her, she didn't have to do that. And basically, by giving him the sword, is like, hey, will you marry me?
Will you marry me? And thus, we then see that they're getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks. How sweet is that?
Yeah, sweet.
So that's when we then get over to X-Men 172.
Yep.
Which is, well, we can see that same wedding invitation card that was sent over.
Yep.
Lady Mariko of Clan Yoshida to just Logan.
Yeah.
And you know, you gotta love the little note that Wolverine
that he sends to Nightcrawler.
Yeah, saying, "Hey Elf, don't forget the beer." So
W.
Wolvie. Yeah, from Wolvie. Say that for me, might kill you, but you know. But yeah, so we get that where we see the X-Men come to Japan.
Yeah. You got Storm, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, and Nightcrawler.
And can't forget Lockheed right there too.
Oh, Lockheed, yeah. Which have you was that part of the what you've read so far on how Lockheed is obtained by Kitty Pryde?
Yeah, like Lockheed's I've read how Lockheed comes from an alien planet that they were in with the whole Brood storyline. That's a really good storyline. I recommend you all check that out. The Brood was a cool storyline, and so, but yeah, interesting to see how that happens since all that of our magic story and stuff that we read.
But then there's one more guest. Dun dun dun.
We got Rogue right there too.
Rogue.
Evil. She just joined the team to try to redeem herself. People are still very unsure on her, Wolverine included, which is a huge part of this. That
and tell us, why is that? What did she do?
Oh well, because she was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You know, she's bad.
Killed Carol Danvers. Right?
She stole her powers.
Well, she's in a coma. That's right.
Well, she was. Well, she put her out of commission for a while. But then at this point in the comics, Carol Danvers is back because she went as a powerless figure. She joined the X-Men in space with a bunch of Brood stuff that was happening. And she then becomes the hero Binary is who she is right now.
Okay.
So, there you go. Stuff.
Anyway, Rogue.
So, yeah, Rogue's here. And then we're now saying there's stuff going on with there's a Silver Samurai.
Hey, look, it's Silver Samurai. What other movie was he in? What movie was he in?
Well, he was in this movie called what was it called again?
The Wolverine.
Not a Wolverine, the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
This time it's a proper Silver Samurai, which we'll get into.
Yes.
And not the stupid shit that movie did.
Yes.
Where anyway, Silver Samurai interjects with what's going on there. Yuki is there also involved.
Yeah, and they bring up Viper, which is another martial arts
Viper
villain.
all comes into this.
Yep.
And so having a bunch of stuff come into here, happening as the wedding night's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Viper who
kills
kills the maiden
of
Mariko there, and then kidnaps
tries to poison everybody. That's right.
Yeah, tries to poison everyone. Oh yeah, because that's important because everyone's knocked out of commission except for Wolverine and Rogue because of their positions.
And so they all go, but then it does a weird thing because everyone's poisoned, but then all of a sudden Storm's helping Yukio and not at the hospital where everybody else is.
Yeah, Storm was having her own like transformational arc during this where she was off doing her own thing.
Yeah.
She wasn't poisoned because she wasn't there, I think. She was off doing
her own... she got the tea knocked out of her hand by Wolverine. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So yeah, she goes and helps Yukio from dying because Yukio falls.
Right.
Slips. That's how she falls. She slips. Not in a fight or anything. She just slips from her parkour.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Really?
You also have this start with Yukio fighting Silver Samurai
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of Yukio fighting
Yeah.
Silver Samurai and not winning.
Yeah, and then Storm comes in, tries to fight him, and then sees something's happening to her. We don't know what, but
Yeah,
we can tell it changed her. There's this big explosion that happened.
it's always
this is
the
a
Storm,
usual
some
one.
sort of like transformations and changes, like in the Magic miniseries, that was going on.
Here's a big thing here too, though, of where we see, and this is important for the overall story, where
what is going?
there's a big explosion, and we can see this explosion in the shape of the Phoenix
coming out of Storm.
Well, not coming out of Storm, but from like the explosions that happen there, and it happens to be in the shape of the Phoenix. And this is after the Dark Phoenix arc, where, well, in that Phoenix dies, and everyone's like, "Wait, how's the Phoenix still here? We thought we killed the Phoenix."
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So, well, they'll get into it.
They'll get into that. We won't in this video.
We won't necessarily get into that, but so anyway, and here, everyone's poisoned, and
well, it's interesting too, because you were talking about this whole transformation, and along everything that happens with Yukio and Storm's like, how can you be so callous and just happy? She's like, because I live, and this is really affecting Storm. You can tell, like,
it really is, and we'll see how that affects her a lot too, and in this next issue here, where issue 173, this is a iconic cover right here that we get to see here, which is cool. Wolverine and Rogue together there. And so, but what exactly happens in this issue? We get action right off the bat. Seeing exactly what's going on there as Wolverine's going a bit crazy, trying to figure out information on,
Rogan, because Rogan and Wolverine are the least affected by the poison, so they're going out and busting heads.
They are.
Love
it. They're trying to find out any info they can.
Rogue's just sitting back watching while Wolverine's saying, oh, this is good education. Thanks for, I'm a sidekick. And then someone tries to stab Rogue with a sigh, and it just bends. And she's like, that's not very. You get the iconic, that shows no way to treat a lady. And so then you go back to Storm and Yukio, and Storm just looks crazy in this.
She is. She's
wild-eyed.
She is going through it right now, and Yukio is not helping.
And it's weird. You get that. All you do is you get that page of like, nope, people aren't letting them in because Yukio's got a death mark on her, and so that they showed, like, that's all they're showing on that page, and then we cut right back to Storm and to Rogue and Wolverine.
Yeah, seeing them back infiltrating.
They show this is where they show Rogue can fly and carry Wolverine. That very first frame.
Got you.
It's funny.
So anyway, they go in and they find that
the guy's already dead. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. It's a trap.
Yeah,
it's a trap
meant to intentionally draw them away. So Silver Samurai and has a shot at Mariko and the other X-Men while they're weak.
Yeah.
Here we
but
see
they get back in time.
Well, but here we see another thing with Storm going on.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, you're right. They go back. We see Viper and ninjas infiltrate there.
Yeah, we learn that Storm doesn't really have great control over powers. It was like she does too much.
Yeah, this is part of it now too. Is she just can't control it as well easily.
Yeah. So then you get the Wolverine versus Silver Samurai.
Great, yeah, pretty cool stuff here. This is what I was talking about, where I was like,
this right
Frank
here
Miller did, and the artist. Let me go back to see who the artist is of this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is Paul Smith. He did a really good job, I think, carrying on the
Frank Miller-esque,
that Frank Miller-esque work here, which is really cool. Which I like to see. Pretty awesome.
That's that last one with him getting that sword through the neck. Oh
my
god.
And we beat him, and then Mariko stops him from murdering him.
Yeah. But then here comes Viper
Viper, who's ready to shoot.
with a blaster gun, not just like a regular gun. It's like a Star Wars blaster.
Oh yeah, you can see it go off right there. And Rogue tries to take the hit, thinking that she'd be invulnerable to it, but it hurts her really bad.
Yeah, she goes, what'd she say? Gee, Wolfie, guess I ain't as invulnerable as I thought.
That's true.
And then
but the villains are thwarted for now, though.
yeah.
We can see the wedding ceremony convince.
Yep, here comes it's crazy because there's a bunch of people here. Like you see Lalandra's there, Charles Xavier's there, and then Havoc shows up.
Cyclops' dad.
With Lorna Dane.
Yeah.
And Cyclops with Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Which sets everybody off because this is the first time everyone's meeting Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Lalandra wants to kill her because she thinks it's Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. Storm comes in. We see that she has this new look.
Yep. Kitty gets upset.
Yep. How dare you change your look, Storm?
Gosh.
Can't believe you.
And yep. And it's just a lot of stuff about. And then Kitty asks Madeline Pryor to watch Lockheed, and she's like, this is a great era where she's like, something matter? Just who are these people? And what the blazes have you gotten me into? And there's Lockheed just yawning in her lap. And then we get the big bombshell.
The big thing where they're about to get married. And then Mariko goes, actually, stop the ceremony. There will be no wedding. Wolverine's like, why? She's like, because you are not worthy.
And
then we see a couple panels of who's behind it all right there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which, this is the end of what we're mainly covering here. But just to delve into who that is at the end there,
looks like Hellfire Club.
That is a member of the Hellfire
That's
Club.
That's what I figured.
Specifically, it's Jason Wingard,
that's who it is, yeah.
Who has the ability to change people's perceptions and things that they see.
Yeah.
And so anyone that follows this, he's been around for a while on and off. The Hellfire Club has been a part of this for a long time. And so, they don't outright show him, but it's if you pay attention, it's some defining features there, such as his clothing and his mustache and
it's mutton chops.
Mutton chops, thank you, and his mutton chops that are, defining.
Yeah,
you can tell him this, and that's a big part of it. Where, I sent you a couple pages of how it's, the following issue has an epilogue of where it's kind of she sets Mariko's setting her away though of what she decided on, and Silver Samurai is injured there with her, and because what's Silver Samurai in relation to her again?
Half brother.
That's right.
He felt that he deserved to be the heir, not her. But now it's he's now her subordinate all of a sudden, and she doesn't love Wolverine. So something's going on, obviously. And apparently it has something to do with the Hellfire Club. Dun, dun, dun.
It does have to do with the Hellfire Club. And if you're interested in what goes on, I highly recommend reading the next two X-Men issues, 174 and 175. 175 is a big finale to stuff that goes on there. And so...
Awesome.
But that wraps up what we were specifically talking about with Wolverine's main story there, as, the end gets into, more of the overall stuff with what's going on, and Wolverine's tier there at the end. But yeah, the first four issues, the original four Wolverine issues, that was such a blast to read. I really enjoyed those. Those were awesome. I highly recommend everyone to check it out. It's just a classic Marvel story, reading Wolverine's first story. And if you can find the deluxe edition that I was showing everyone,
able to get that has
Yeah, $20 for all 6 of these issues, which is pretty cool.
That's a good price.
Yeah, that's a solid deal for it. So I definitely recommend everyone to, support more comics, go read more, and pretty cool stuff here. Here, I'll also show too. I showed some of the cool early pencils.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, that one iconic one where he's They didn't come alone. They brought friends.
Yeah, so you can see the early version of that right there. A couple other early pages right there.
Oh yeah.
So there's not too much of it. You also see like some of the later done. Oh wait, where's it here at the end? Some of the other like later done covers for it as well, such as a redone version of that. And
very nice
stuff right here. But yeah, anyway, point is though, this is an excellent little trade here to check out. Very glad to pick this up for my collection for checking out Wolverine stuff. And yeah, must read a Wolverine story if you're a Wolverine fan. Highly recommend checking it out.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Anything else?
No, I think that we pretty much covered it.
I think so too.
It'll be exciting. I definitely am going to check out, the probably the next 2 issues and see what happens with the Hellfire Club. But
it's exciting stuff that goes on. But yeah. So, but thank you everybody for joining. This was an awesome video. Go. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. For more Dingus Den content, more comic reviews, some interviews here and there, and so you're reviewing Smallville. Actually, by the time I put this out, just a couple of days, I'll be having my season finale for Smallville season 1, which will be awesome. And so I have a really fun. We have something really fun planned for that, so I can't wait for that.
Awesome.
And so, but yeah. So anyway, check out all the Dingus Den stuff down below, and I will see you all later next time here on the Dingus Den. Laters, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.